Well, firstly, I want to say a massive thank you for coming along and doing the gig.
Pleasure. Thanks.
Brilliant. I'm sorry that was just absolutely gutted, but I am going to go over and YouTube it. I was wondering, firstly, if you don't mind me asking, just why it was that you decided to accept the invitation.
Well, I had nothing on, and I need to get out of the house more. But yeah, it seemed a good cause as well. So it was, two benefits: spiritual and logistical.
Absolutely, and I mean, obviously yourself and most of the other comedians here tonight are activists of some description in their spare time. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, just because we can talk a bit more seriously about politics now, what do you see as the kind of biggest political issue that's facing people today?
Well, there's quite a lot, aren't there? It's not narrow down to one specific one. I kind of changed my mind on that.
You can pick a couple if you want.
Right. Well, I think I think there's I sometimes just think our whole system has reached a stage where, were we to start from scratch, economically and politically, there is no way we could formulate a system quite as idiotic as this. I'm not saying it's the worst, but it is patently idiotic. And I think we need a kind of more mature and equitable economic system across the world. I think I'm the first person to say that. And other people probably fleshed it out a bit more than that. But yeah, it's clearly a lot of errors have been made in various areas. But yeah, I think a great degree of equality and ideally less massive amounts of greed would be good.
So basically the biggest issue confronting us is capitalism, would you say?
Yeah, and I'm not someone who would say I'll smash capitalism and replace it with a nice harmonious global commune, but at the same time it is clearly batshit crazy and needs to be sat down and have a long, hard, cold bath with itself and think about what it's doing.
Yeah. And obviously left-wing comedians, I mean, sometimes they come in for a little bit of stick from the mainstream press. I think one of the quite interesting and really valuable things about today was that everyone managed to get up on stage and make jokes without actually offending any oppressed groups or minorities or anything like that. I mean, how do you see the relationship between, being on the left and comedy sitting?
Yeah, well, I haven't had much hassle from the right-wing media because none of the right-wing media know that I exist, so it's fine. That's the benefits of flying under the radar. I think there's people get offended generally too easily, I think, and obviously as a comedian you prize your freedom of speech, and it's nice to be able to criticise where you think something needs to be criticised, and this stand-up gives you the freedom to do that in a way that television and radio or professional football association dinners don't really offer you that freedom. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad that you've come along and did it for us today. Really appreciate it.
Anytime. Can I have my post-gig shower now? Is that all right?
Absolutely. I'll leave you to it.
Sorry.